Go live.
Is it a banger?
Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and TRADEFLY, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
What is going on, guys? Sorry, we were having all kinds of technical difficulties today, but I think we got it worked out. Bitcoin is holding at 68K. Ethereum is pushing 4K. Could we be seeing an all-time high here soon? You gotta watch to find out. All that and more on today's episode of Piper's Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, class is in session. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Piper Academy. And here on this show, we provide you guys some of the most important market news as well as TA that you can actually use. We do that every day at 0930 Eastern Standard Time. Unfortunately, today, the man, the myth, the legend, Army Piper is out, but don't you worry, he is going to be back real soon. But I have a co-host, and he is the master of spaghetti, the Dr. TA, the man, the myth, the legend, OC guy. Let's bring him on.
Hey, what's up,
dude?
TRADEFLY? Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I always love your introductions. They're really, really cozy. Thank you, brother. I see that we have Ethereum to maybe going to the moon. I mean, that's fairly interesting. I mean, to be fair, I also think that we could be seeing an upwards movement there. But what are your thoughts? And also, I don't know. Let me know what are you seeing on the charts, or is there any news that you want to share with us? Let me know.
Yeah, no particular news. I'm just thinking about history repeats itself, right? What happened with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin got approved with its ETF. It pulled back a little bit, and then we saw an all-time high. So, looking at Ethereum, is it priced in? I don't know. I think people did try to front run it a little bit, but we're pushing with that 4K level. That 4K level is it's a very key level. We're gonna have to look at the charts. We'll talk about it, but I think an all-time high definitely is in play. But we'll talk more about it when we get into the TA. But let's go ahead and kick over to some of the news today. First thing up, we are going to look at the total market cap, and let me switch screens for you. That's sitting at $2.57 trillion, up 0.29%. Over the last 24 hours, trading volume is $70 billion. That is an increase of 34%. And looking at Bitcoin dominance, that is at 52.47%, which is a decrease of 0.46%. Looking at the Fear and Greed Index, that is sitting at 64, so it looks like we're kind of trending towards neutral. Let's do a quick rundown of the top 10 coins. Bitcoin over the last 7 days is 2.9% to 2.95%. Ethereum is up 27.49%. And BNB is up 5.76%. XRP is up 4.08%. Dogecoin up 11.85%. Toncoin is up 1.57%. And Cardano is down 0.15%. So Cardano, the new stable coin. And of course, the big mover is Ethereum. And that's based on the ETF news. Over to the economic calendar. Gonna just do a quick rundown so you guys know what to look out for. Thursday, GDP growth rate. That is going to be coming out on Thursday at 0430. So that's for me, 0430. On Friday, you're going to have the core PCE price index month over month, personal income month over month, and personal spending month over month. So end of the week is going to be a big week. Keep a lookout for that. It could have a impact on price action. Over to the crypto bubbles for the week. Looking up, look at that. Jasmine is up 29.9%. Bonk is up 47.7%. LDO is up 47.9%. Uniswap is up 42.9%. Ondo up 34.1%. I like to see Bonk and Ondo because they are both in the portfolio. So that is good news for us. And let's go over to the liquidations. In the past 24 hours, 49,329 traders were liquidated. The total liquidations comes in at 101.23 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on Bybit. That's Ethereum, valued at 1.23 million. That's actually not so bad. I would say the average is usually about 3 million or so. So not so bad. Last one I think we did was about 12 million. You had a lot of volatility the day that the ETF got approved. Looking at the liquidation heat map, I'm going to move through this pretty quick on the daily. You can see it's pretty dark on both sides of price action right now. You do have a hot spot above and a hot spot below. So I don't think liquidity is going to be a driving factor for price today. And let me go over to the chat. I haven't been there. Let's see if I can actually roll
Seems like
through
we
this.
have a little bit of a low volume
Low volume. All right, all right.
on your.
On my
yeah.
end. Let's see.
I think so.
Of course, always issues here. You are muted, question mark. I hear TRADEFLY. My sound is low. All right, all right. Is that me or both of us? See if anybody answers up on that one.
Seems to be a little bit of on your side.
Is it on my side? Okay, cool. Looks like I need to
I think
adjust
so.
you right here as well. So clean this up. Make you look pretty. You guys are just seeing the seeing it live and in color here. Always issues, man. I got to get on the eCam train apparently. All right, so volume is all the way up there. It looks like I'm coming through mono for whatever reason. That's probably why people are having issues. They're only hearing me through one. I don't know why this is an issue. Not really sure how to fix it, to be honest with you guys. Yeah.
Maybe you can try speaking twice. Would that work?
Just speaking twice. The funny thing is, you're
Just-
coming through stereo now, and you were mono the last time, and now I'm the one that's coming through mono. So go figure. We can't
Oh,
win.
you're right. Last time I was the mono one.
Yeah, you can't win, man. Let me try one thing. Test, test, test. Nope, it still looks like it's mono. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't. The only thing I could try... I can't do that right now. Sorry. We're going to have to keep pushing, guys. So turn your volume up, or if you got earbuds in, I'm only going to come through one. Sorry about that. All right, where were we? So looking at Bitcoin. Let's bring Bitcoin up. All right, looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour, it looks like we're struggling with that 2021 high right now. We did come up, got a little bit of a rejection. So now it looks like we're starting to form a little bit of a trend here, kind of working towards the downside. It looks like there's some downside pressure. Let's go ahead and draw that. That's actually a horizontal line. I'll get rid of that in a minute. Let's go to the line. Go. So you can see a little pressure building up, kind of going to the downside there. But then you had this coming up. So almost a little bit of a squeeze. Might be a little make or break move for Bitcoin. So let's look at some of the important levels though. You got the value area high. That's sitting at about 70,100 to 200. You got the point of control sitting at about 67K. So those are going to be two significant numbers outside of this 2021 high. So you can see this 2021 high, very interesting how important that's been. Right around 69K. I mean, obviously it goes back 2 years, but look how it's been both resistance and support at times. Look at that. I mean, support, resistance, it was support, and then breakdown with a retest off of that area, and then it broke down before ultimately came back up when we broke, and then we tried to use it as support again. So it's a very significant area. I would definitely keep an eye on it. If we're coming down to the oscillators, and actually let's go ahead and look at the prime score. Prime score is an 8, so that's good on the 4-hour. Prophecy is saying market pump. This thing has been pretty accurate, but your consolidation score is a 9. Now, if you go to the daily and you were saying, hey, we're consolidating in this range, I'd be like, yep, that should be like a 10, because we've been in this range for what, a couple months now. You're looking at February. We've been in this range. I mean, at times you could argue that we've broken out of it a little bit, maybe to the downside here before we got that, that bounce off of right here, this area of volume. But other than that, we've been pretty steady bouncing back and forth in this range. And this support range right here that I have marked has played out pretty nice as well. And that's sitting at about 61K. So even if we were to come down, I would say you're probably going to get some love off of the point of control, which is about 67,000. I would see a little bounce off of that, as well as chart prime is actually giving us a rising wedge here. So you can see that's actually acting as support right now. But if we fall back down into it, I think you got a couple areas of confluence here, and that's going to be your dynamic reactor, your point of control, and the bottom side of this wedge. All right, all acting as support around 70 or 67K. I think you can find some price action off of that. And then your value area high is probably going to be your top side resistance. That's just looking at it on the short term. I'll kick it over to OC and see what he's got to say, and I will try to work this audio issue in the background.
Oh, perfect. I'm seeing actually the same area that you are. In fact, I'm expecting for a possible retracement here and a possible re-entry at that area. Let me just clean things up here and show you guys a little bit on what I got. So remember that we've been following this YKF pattern for so long, couple of months there, right? And the most important part is just to figure out the pattern, right? So basically the spring all the way down here, then we have this trend line, we have this other trend line, we have the breakout right here. All right, so we have the breakout right here, and then the confirmation of the spring right here, confirmation of the spring right here. And what's up next? Well, we go and hit all the way at the top of the range, do a little bit of retracement, and continue out. All right, so there's a little bit of an issue here, which is that we are forming. Let me turn things off in here for a little second. Even my drawings, there we go, which is this area right here. We have one peaking here, we have a retracement, and then the next movement, it seems to be lower than the previous one, right? That usually it's either a swing fail pattern or it is a dead cat bounce, right? So as you can see right here, we had the same peak, for example, going back to the dynamic reactor, bounce back up, all right, bounce back up, and then cut short and then break through the dynamic reactor. You can also see right here that if I just draw down this line manually here, and we will see that we were breaking above the 0 line just for a fake out and then roll back down. Just the same thing that is happening right now, right? So if we're talking about the pattern that basically have been playing out, we should be having some sort of support, which is going to be the dynamic reactor, not only dynamic reactor, but also this trend line that we have going on here, which is also pairing with the, again, dynamic reactor center of the channel, and also the pattern that TRADEFLY was looking at, right? And then we should be bouncing with an early flip of the ribbon like this one. So I do expect a little bit farther movement to the downside. That will also be maybe generating a shoulder, head, and secondary shoulder here for a maybe neckline that's going to be this trend line happening right here. So we need to be a little bit careful. The path is not yet clear. Nonetheless, remember that we did enter here and we have a couple of possible entries. If you did not enter and you're looking for a possible re-entry, that's fine. The market is not going away, right? We just need to take care of our money, because if we are not sure, or at least we don't have the mathematics pointing at a high possibility to breaking up, well then in my case, I will not be risking my money. So what I'm going to be looking at is a retracement to this area and the flip of the ribbon. Once I start seeing the flip of the ribbon and the retracement to this area, I will be considering to enter into a trade. What happens if we keep pushing forward? Well, then I will going to be waiting for the breakout of the channel, right? And then, well, we're going to have the flip of the ribbon, another secondary flip of the ribbon, for a retracement, right? And then back for this third flip of the ribbon for a support, and that's gonna be my next entry area right here, right? I know might be looking like a waste of time where we are right now and not jumping in, but remember, it is the indicators are not pointing at this point at a clear entry, right? And despite that, it is only just a what, a 3%. I mean, if we do 10x leverage, yes, that will be a 30%, 35%. But I'm usually looking for a little bit of a bigger movement, something like an 80%, 90% with a 10x leverage, or a 8 to 10% movement on Bitcoin regular, no leverage at it. So yeah, guys, just keeping an eye on what's going to be happening here. And as you can see, let me just do a quick review here. It is that most of the altcoins are also in the verge of break or make, just waiting for Bitcoin to do its move. Really quick on Atom, we are right against the dynamic reactor and we just broke to the zero line in here. So we either break right now or we're going to be making a little fake out and then revisiting possible next lows at 8.19 or so. TRADEFLY, let me know when you're ready to take over. I'm going to be just going over a couple of coins that I'm seeing here in the meantime while you figure things out. When you're ready, just let me know or just kick in.
Yeah, man. So unfortunately, I
All
don't
right,
think I'm
guys.
going to be able to
Yep.
figure out the audio part of it. Looks like I was having some issues with the screen too. So when OBS crashed, it just knocked everything out of whack. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go through some news, and then I'm gonna kick it back over to you to TA. Hopefully, I can get you kind of tidied up once I kick it back to you. So first thing we'll look at is the Kobisi letter, and it just highlighted a couple significant events this week. Memorial Day, obviously, market's going to be closed. You got the consumer confidence data Tuesday, Q1 2024 GDP data is on Thursday, talked about that. And then April PCE inflation data Friday. And of course, I am not on my screen. There we go. And Chicago PMI data Friday. Total of 10 Fed speaker events this week. So again, keep an eye out. It's short, but there's a lot going on. And then let's go over to the daily hodl. So this might actually give us a couple things to talk about here. A whale spends 24 million on Ethereum altcoins after SEC approves listing of spot ETH ETF on-chain data. So basically, people did a little bit of research. Whale went banana land, buying all sorts of altcoins after the ETF approval. And let's go to the next story, and then we'll kind of come back and talk about this stuff. Top analyst predicts over 50% decline for Solana, says there's really high chance Sol actually printed its macro lower high. So that's based on Sol getting up to about 210, and it used the Elliott wave theory. So you have the 5 waves up. It set that high at 210, and then there was waves. I think he said 5 waves coming back down, and then it tried to come up. There was 3 waves up, and now it looks like it's coming back down again. So they're predicting at numbers as low as $80. So that's something we talk about in the chat. Why don't you let me know if it's back down to 80 of the Ethereum? It's going to be on now. So we have. So trader says to new highs. And so this one is the events. And really say it can realize that actual push forward. If you look at first month, the first month is typically the that you have a small move. Look historically, but you see those big moves up. Is it going to go parabolic? If you watched
Testing, testing, testing. Do we have audio now? No sound on, upside down. Yeah. All right. So maybe we are ready to go. Let me know. We should be good to go. All right. I should not longer be neither upside down and you guys can hear me. Please give me the thumbs up if you can hear me. If not, give me a thumbs down so I know you still can't not hear me. Yes, perfect. All right, there we go. All right, doing even the impossible. So TRADEFLY, if you are here, I sent you a pairing link so you can join me on the stream. Just click the link that I send you over private, and I'll get you here in the stream as soon as possible. So in the meantime, let's take a look at what I have in here. So Ethereum, right? I was telling you guys that Ethereum is performing way better than I was expecting, or I believe that everybody was expecting. In fact, kind of like Ethereum, it is doing what we all thought Bitcoin was going to be doing, right? Let's just go and do a quick overview on Bitcoin. Let's go to a cleaner chart. Here we go. And let's remember what happened on the Bitcoin ETF approval, right? Well, remember that we had not only once but two fake outs of the approval, and then finally we have the actual approval of the ETF. So that generated a little bit too much hype on the markets before the dumps, right? Because they were fake news. So in this case, I mean, we built up hype, and then, I mean, ended up being a fake hype. So basically overdriving the market, right? As you can see, the first movement was pretty clear, neat, and big. The second movement was not as big and clear or neat. And finally, the third one is a charm, as always. And then we did have the ETF approved and then completely crashed, right? Remember that in this case, it was different. Not only we had already the experience of Bitcoin, but also there were some big players in the market just sending letters, right, to the SEC for a fast or heads up approval on this ETF. Not only that, there have not been yet that big of a deal for fake news. So as they said, it was approved. It was approved, and despite we had a little bit of volatility, well, then that manipulation was basically just going away. And right now we are seeing that movement to the upside. So I believe that is a core difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, which basically, just to wrap things up, it is that we haven't been faking out as much, especially on the news, right? So do I see Ethereum going to the moon? Absolutely. I have no doubt about it. Just like Bitcoin, I mean, we are, under my eyes, we are at the beginning of the cycle, right? And we still have a long way to go, right? Also, remember that ETF opens up the possibility for institutional money to jump in, and that institutional money, it also come in big rushing packages, right? But also, I mean, it is very prompt to manipulate the markets as they buy or sell those big, big orders of the assets. Not talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let me bring up here a couple of my indicators. Let me also clean things up, because we had already the triangle that I was expecting of a breakout. We also hit it right here beautifully, right down there. Well, we did not went all the way down there other than one single time, but we did visit the very bottom of that channel. So let me just clean this up here and start from scratch and fresh. By the way, guys, if you want to take a look at any other asset, please click here on the side chat and let me know. Hey, we got TRADEFLY. What is up, brother? Welcome to the stream. It seems like we are fighting tooth and nail with this thing. So there's a little bit issue on your audio. You are a little bit of it seems like how is it? I don't know, a little bit echoey or something. I mean, you need to reboot that thing here, there, the wave link.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. All right. So just quick here. Very quick. Give me, guys, 1 second. And that will be it. All right. Perfect. So I got to mute. By the way, TRADEFLY, I'm sending you feedback of what I'm seeing here, so you can follow on real time. Because guys, we have a little bit of a delay on YouTube, so it's kind of like sometimes hard to follow up along. So make sure that you mute me on Discord, TRADEFLY, if you can, so we don't have. Oh, sorry, the other way around. Mute the stream so you can hear me so you can maybe hear me on Discord or Streamlabs, whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to mute me on. So, all right, so let's move on here. Whenever you're ready, brother, let me know. Also remember to share your screen so I can pull up your charts and see what's happening. In the meantime, let's take a look at what I have right here. So we have a big support that he has been respected here, but most importantly, since we are kind of like a breaking above back into big areas that were previous all-time highs, well then those support and resistances hasn't maybe been so with too many touches, so we don't have that data so far. So what do? I go to my volume profile. So what I'm doing here is adding as many candles as I can. I'm trying to go with this last range that I have, right? And then waiting for that to there we go. We got two charts, brother. Perfect. All right. So and to my VPVR, right? This is going to be telling me in which area I am. So far, I can see green volume, right? By the way, this is a raw volume added as live as we are, right? And this is the deficit. The deficit is basically positive volume minus negative volume equal your deficit, right? So this is very important because you're going to be seeing areas here of bullishness or bearishness. So far, we are at the verge of a bullish area. We can see almost a flip of the ribbon, but I believe that we could be forming a dog heading here, and we could be having a little pump for a breakout, making new highs and then retracement. Let's see if we can maybe make those new highs. And since we don't have support and resistance, the next big thing that I can start using are my predictive ranges. So a little tricky here, guys. If your predictive ranges are ending up right where you are right now, just double click on them. All right, go here to predictive ranges, and instead of chart, you'll see that I am in the 4 hours. So I can do 6, 12 or daily. I'm gonna go for 12 hours here. So I have the most local data as possible. There we go, and we have a much better calculation. So you can see I'm hitting all-time highs in here, and I have no other resistance all the way up there. So it is expected that we hit all-time highs. There we go. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. Turning it back to you, TRADEFLY. Let me go to your charts. There we go. What's up, brother? What are you seeing?
So make sure. Still bad, huh?
Yeah, it seems like the audio is a little bit off. Maybe you can completely quit. What is this? Completely quit Wavelink and maybe open it up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but it's a little crackling. Perfect.
Okay, I'm just gonna drop the stream.
All right, perfect. Let me see. So we have TRADEFLY dropping out of the stream. Maybe he's want to reboot his system. Guys, help me out here and let me know what you want me to take a look at. Please give me a list on things that you want me to take a look at and you might be interesting. I have two couple of things that I want to go over, but so far on Ethereum, just to wrap things up, I am expecting a further move to the upside. So it seems like TRADEFLY's computer, it's a bit off today. So are we frozen again? All right, let's see. Guys, please let me know if we're frozen. Okay, perfect. I thought we were frozen. Thank you, guys. So let's go and take a look at a couple of things. I want to get started with crypto bubbles. So crypto bubbles right there. Let me just bring it up. And guys, and we talked about this like, what was it? Like 4 classes. Last week was on Wednesday or Tuesday. I'm not quite sure, right? We're talking about Flocky. And yeah, I mean, we're talking about Flocky, right? So we'll see how is it playing out. By the way, guys, Flocky is one of those meme coins that is not really for me worth it, other than just profits being turned into this kind of investment, right? If I can call this an investment. So other than that, let's go take a look at Flocky. Also, I want to take a look at SNX and Jasmine. I do hold a little bit of Jasmine, and today it's been pumping a little bit also along with INJ. So guys, throw in the chat the assets that you guys are interested to take a look at, and I'll go over. Can we take a look at NQ? Absolutely. Let's just wrap things up with Flocky. And then I do NQ, and then maybe we do Jasmine if you guys want me to. So let's take a look at Flocky. All right, there we go. Should be all the way at the bottom. There we go, and look at that. In fact, we can see that I was expecting that movement. It is there right now, live, as we were talking about, right? We were having this previous high, so I was expecting for that pullback right that we have it here. To be honest, I thought that we're going to be breaking up and then having that support, which did not happen. Why? Because we crossed the 0 line, and my flip of the ribbon happened a little bit late, right? So that's completely fine. I mean, I just redraw a new trend line here, but my target also still within the same areas at this possible breakout. So it seems like we did have that breakout finally, and then we're pushing forward as we had the flip of the ribbon right there. So as you can see, it is been moving. Let's just see how far could we go on Flocky. So for that, let me just bring up my predictive ranges. So it seems like we could be going again to all-time highs. We need to be a little bit careful here. Let me just bring up a little bit less data, because it seems like everything is not wanting to work for some reason. All right, there we go, much better. Let me just clean this up and then maybe just hide this. But as I hide it, I'll need to readjust it. All right, so long story short, we do have the next possible reversal right all the way here at previous highs. And then we have the purple line. We are already in overbought territory, so we need to be a little bit careful here. If you're planning to jump into Flocky, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not here to tell you whether you should be buying or selling, but I can actually tell you that you need to be careful. I myself would not be jumping right there on this movement unless I see a reversal back into this rising wedge trend line here, seeing a secondary like this flip of the ribbon to also make a trend line here on my oscillator. There we go. And as I flip up, that will be my entry point if that happens. All right, so far it seems like everything is kind of like a pushing hard, so I will not be chasing after price. Let's take a look at NQ here very quick. By the way, NQ, what time frame are you looking at for? Come on, doesn't want to play. Oh, there we go. Let's do NQ. Perfect. Features mini. So let me just clear things up in here and let's get started from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to be doing, it's just looking at my bare bones indicators. So my baseline indicators, right? On these indicators, I do see that I am bullish, right? I'm strong, breaking above the dynamic reactor, right? I'm also above, technically above the 0 line. There's something that is worrying me here, right? The swing fail pattern or the dead cat bounce that could be playing out right now. It doesn't seem like it, but I'll be zooming in. It doesn't seem like it, but we need to acknowledge that, especially because it seems like we are flipping down here right? It's kind of like it wants to flip back down, and we have had a bunch of bearish divergences. So let me show you what had happened before. If we retrace from here, all right, and go visit the possible next low, most probably we are going to be going and make a lower low, all right? What happened here? High, higher high, lower high, and then what happened right here? Lower low, right? You see the pattern that I'm seeing right there? Remember, the pattern is not there yet. Speculation is a big part of our of TA, right? So at this point, what I'm going to be looking at, and I also said that I'm going to be just zooming in, all right? It's going to be not only price action that I want it to flip back up in here and continue its way up to avoid the dead cat bounce, all right? But also I'm going to be looking at my oscillators. So far for me is not over. This is not an entry point. Entry points for me are going to be where I do have big support. So for that, let me turn on my support and resistances, and guess where I have big support? Right in here, also with this other two line. So let me clear things up here very quick so we have a clean view, right? And depending on what my oscillator does, if my oscillator breaks into the green cloud in here, I will be looking for maybe a retracement and a push to the upside, all right? And this is going to be my entry. If my oscillator flips back down and crosses below the 0 line, I will be absolutely waiting for my dynamic reactor bounce at this volatility area right here, liquidity zone right here at, what is it, 18,582. All right, let me just bring up a couple of other indicators just to confirm that I have a solid playground here. Let me also add in as many candles as I can to have an updated volume, but most importantly, outcome of that volume, which is deficit, right? So far I am, as you can see right here, and let me just draw a little price box in here. I have a little bit of a negative area, right? If I'm able to break out, all right, I could be retracing and pushing forward because of the smart money area that I could be looking at, all right? But that will depend on the oscillator, as we spoke, to flip up. Once again, flipping up, I will be looking for a retracement, and jumping in or breaking down, I'll be looking for the dynamic reactor and also the liquidity zone to be grabbed right down here for a possible entry. That's what I got on NQ, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. And let's take a look at, what was it? Jasmine. So Jasmine is just deflating. Let's see if we can hold that. Hopefully we can. I want to take some profits this week. Let's see. It's with J. There we go. We got it right here. Perfect. All right, we have Jasmine. Let's go visit it up here on the charts. And it seems that we have a beautiful round up. Oh my God. Guys, I lost on this taking profit. I lost it. Sorry. So I was looking at Jasmine. I did not set up alerts. For me, it was a for a long-term scenario. Seems that we have that pump and dump. So what's up now with Jasmine? I think that we're going to be going back to previous lows. Previous base price zones, right? That is because we just had a flip of the ribbon, and look at how aggressive we have that flip of the ribbon. By the way, my Jasmine entry was somewhere around these areas. So my first area of entry was here. Then I was looking for a next re-entry here. So basically my average price of Jasmine, it is around 0.18, somewhere around those areas. So for me, taking profits right here, it's not going to be an option. I mean, taking profits all the way up here, that was an option. As you can see, we were very, very close to that purple line from the predictive ranges. So guys, seems like we are running out of time. So let me wrap things up here. But also, I'm going to be looking for what's going to be in the next scenario. Next scenario is going to be going for the order blocks that we have built up here. So the more order blocks that we have, despite their soft order blocks, as soon as we have the flip of the ribbon and we are still above the zero line, let me show you here a little bit of a trick if you're using this oscillator. As we break below and as we broke above, as we break below, and I'm talking about the oscillator, right? And as we break above back again, and so on and so forth, all right? Talking about the oscillator, look at that. Being below the zero line, what happened? Overall price went down. Being above the zero line, what happened to the overall price? Went up. Below the zero line, down. Above the zero line, up, right? Where we last broke up, I will be calling here, right? So far, yes, we had a fake out, but we haven't lost it yet right here, right? So there's a real chance that we can flip back up, and that's what I'm expecting for a possible re-entry, and then continuing to the upside. And that's when I'm going to be trying to get some entries right there. So guys, let's go here to solo cam. Let's wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for joining today. So sorry that we had a little bit of a technical issues. You know, like live streams kind of like does its thing. It seems like, I mean, today was, things happening on TRADEFLY computer. I mean, unfortunately, that's something that we cannot prevent, right? It's just things that happens with technology. Sometimes it's just trying to reveal on ours, especially since we have AI, right? So have you heard about Connor? So just saying. All right. So, and Skynet, just saying, all right, guys. So thank you so much for joining. I still see that we have 14 viewers. I really, really, really appreciate that, guys, for sticking with us until the end. I mean, we did what we could to rescue the stream and provide you as much information as we can. So, guys, give me a huge favor, please, or make me a huge favor, please, and go check out what we got for you here. Remember that for Chart Prime subscription, we have a 40% off. That is amazing. Also, we have a 10% off on your Aviation Legendary Coffee. And also, guys, remember to click that like button, because the more you click that like button, well, the less crashes we're gonna have, right? So we're trying to get as on the best backups that we can, so everybody has a copy of the Prime Academy in case we need to rescue it. So it seems like this time it played out. So guys, thank you so much for joining, and let's raid the next video. So guys, also remember when we are getting redirected to share those graduation heads, so everybody knows that we are raiding their server. So guys, thank you so much for joining, and as always, see you guys tomorrow.
That was awesome, dude!